Hi, CBMC. This is your word for the week. We're going to take a look at fear today. And you've listened to the news, you've heard fear in the stock markets, you heard fear all over with coronavirus. Experts tell us there are two different kinds of fear. And the first kind is the one that gets your heartbeat going. Adrenaline is racing and it pushes you to actually move. The second kind of fear is the exact opposite, and it actually paralyzes you instead. That's the kind of fear we're looking at today in Genesis 15. Let's hear the word of the Lord. And Genesis 15:1 reads, "After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. 'Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward.' But Abram said, 'Sovereign Lord, what can you give me since I remain childless?' And Abram said, 'You have given me no children, so a servant in my household will be my heir.' Then the word of the Lord came to him, 'This man will not be your heir, but a son who is your own flesh and blood will be your heir.' And he took him outside and said, 'Look up at the sky and count the stars, if indeed you can count them.' And then he said to him, 'So shall your offspring be.' And Abram believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness." God tells Abram, don't fear. And he's going to give him three different reasons of why not. The first one is, I am your shield. The second one is, your reward will be very great. And the third one is going to be, your inheritance is immeasurable. Want to know why Abram's afraid? It says it in verse 2. After God says your reward will be great, Abram says and counters back, "What will you give to me since I remain childless?" What is fascinating is that in one chapter earlier, Abram shows incredible courage. He goes off to war to rescue Lot. But once the adrenaline of war winds down and he's back to normal, there's still one thing left unanswered, and that is the promise of an heir. God still had not followed through with that promise yet. Now, if you think about people in general, we're very much the same way. In one chapter, we can show incredible courage, but in another chapter, we show fear. I myself am not afraid of public speaking. Some of you are. However, I'm deathly afraid of failure, while some of you are not. Some of you who don't fear death at all, you're afraid of something like a job interview. Remember, one chapter you're afraid, one chapter you're not. If we deconstruct fear and why people are afraid, the answer is simple. People are afraid of what is unknown, what is uncertain. Yvon Chouinard, the founder of Patagonia, says that the greatest fear of all is the fear of the unknown. For Abram, the fear of the unknown was still, when am I going to get my inheritance? Now look at what the Lord does, and let's take a look at this principle. The Lord takes him outside and says, look at all the stars, number them if you can, so shall your offspring be. What he does to overcome Abram's fear is to help him to visualize what is unknown. Abram wasn't sure when the child was going to come, when he would have an heir, but God says, look around, visualize it if you can. This principle is going to be critical for overcoming fear, and I want you to see how this worked when the Navy SEALs went and raided Osama bin Laden's compound. The person responsible for this operation was Admiral Bill McRaven. CIA gave him plenty of details about the compound, and for a whole month, Navy SEALs practiced with not just one, but two life-size replicas of the compound. McRaven said, "What worried me the most was the unknown. We didn't know whether or not the compound was booby-trapped." During the night, Team 6 went in. They raided the compound. They searched for documents and hard drives. They returned to the Jalalabad Air Base with the body, all within 40 minutes. Fear of the unknown was overcome because of preparation. How did Abram respond? He believed, and it was credited to him as righteousness. I can imagine him walking outside his tent, looking up at the stars, and the fear going away as he is believing in this. During this time of fear, during coronavirus, God has made known to us several things that help us to overcome the fear. The first one is that if you know Jesus and you are in Christ, you know your eternal destiny. The second thing is that we know that God is with us. And as the scriptures have said, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. The third thing that can be known is God himself. He reveals himself through Jesus Christ. So let's take a collective deep breath together and let's believe, and may it be counted as righteousness.